Begin takeoff procedure.
Can I have a headset? No.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We are in the, we got to edit that to top 16 here real quick, Johnny. Boom. We're going to be getting the top 16 going here in a moment. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes, I did get eliminated in the top 32. That's why I'm here. But I get to do what I do best, and that's commentate and give analysis. Yeah, you know, it was a good game. It was a good game. Me and Nicholas Tobin, both Chicago area players. We've played quite a few times in local events, and I know it's cliche, but it came down to one maneuver.
Why aren't you playing anymore?
I'm out. Yes. I thought a one bank wouldn't fit next to a rock. And it yes, it's time to start drinking is right. I'm gonna go see if I can just straighten that out. It's bothering me.
Yeah, of course it is. So I'm still here. My name is Johnny. Dion is, you know how he gets. He's bummed out, but he'll bounce back. Always does. I am typing in lists right now. So that's what I'm occupied with. Both of these players were on stream yesterday. Two very, very good players. And so I expect nothing less than a great match. Dion said the camera alignment was bothering him. So we went to go fix that. The Twitch chat was complaining about that last match too, and I said I would make you fix it. So I'm just
It's fixed.
I'm just delivering on my promises to the world.
Yep. I'm just gonna reach here.
Did time start yet?
Yes.
When did it start?
Like 2 minutes ago.
At 11:50?
Yeah. All right, let's pull it up here. All right, everybody. Hello, my name is Dio Morales, and I have my co-host with me here today, John Randazzo. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, doing good. I'm having fun watching some highly competitive X-Wing.
Yep, we are watching the top 16 elimination match, and our top 16 is brought to you by Kingwood Hobbies. Kingwood Hobbies sells new X-Wing and Destiny products at as low prices as possible. Even a penny cheaper, and Mickey Mouse himself will be knocking on the door. Kingwood also buys and sells used product at competitive rates. Kingwood Hobbies, buy and sell here. Use our coupon code GSP Chicago to get an extra 5% off of all orders, including pre-orders for the upcoming Wave 14 releases. It's actually even cheaper than places like Miniature Market. So if you need to buy miniatures online, I think that's the place to go. Again, that's GSP Chicago to get that. And I also want to say thank you to Cascade Games for allowing us to be the exclusive streamer for the Chicago System Open. So let's break down some of these lists here.
All right, so both of these players were on stream yesterday, but as I was saying, they are both very good, obviously, to make it this far. Very good players. On the left side of the field, we have Phil Horney, who has been on our stream previous events as well. He is flying Kylo Ren, loaded out with Push the Limit, Advanced Sensors, Auto Thrusters, and the title. Quick Draw with adaptability. I would imagine he is using that to plus, but it won't really matter this game.
Yep.
Quick Draw is also loaded out with FCS, lightweight frame, and special ops training, and then Countdown with lightweight frame and adaptive ailerons. So it's always interesting to see what Countdown does. All of those options available for movement, both the pre-maneuver movement and afterwards repositioning. So it's a very complicated ship to fly, but Phil does it very well.
Absolutely. He actually flew it to great success, making top cut in the Michigan Regional. I was there. We also got a couple games with him on stream. Just really, he's a really aggressive player, but also smart. So he is not afraid to make sure Countdown does some work. And then his opponent, we have Enano. Again, he was on stream earlier yesterday, I believe, out of Argentina. Was able to have dinner with him on Friday. Really cool guy, and just you know, he flew out to Chicago just to do this. So he's running the Lothal Rebel Fenn variant that we have been seeing flown to great success. I know some people were saying, "Well, hey, only a couple ghosts got into the cut. There can't be that many." At the 4 and 2 level and 3 and 3, there were tons of them. Sure. Lots of people trying to fly it to great success. I had to face against 3 different ghost lists yesterday to make the cut.
Yeah.
It was a very tough field. If anybody's not familiar with this, Sensor Jammer is really key in this build, because it forces Philip to spend focus, making him less defensive and causing him to take damage.
Yeah, Enano caught a little bit of flack yesterday because he was using Sensor Jammer against Rear Admiral Chiranu, which then changed that eyeball to a crit. My comment was he's probably just in the habit of using it every round of fire, just to remember to do it every time.
Yep. And you know, and that the rack player can miss the trigger too, right?
Yeah, sure.
It happens. Sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and adjust a couple things here. All right. So let's go ahead and get our straw poll up. And then, so we're going to go ahead and put that straw poll in the chat. There it is. Vote for your champion. Who do you think is going to be able to take this game? I love doing the polls. This actually was Johnny's idea to use the electronic one. It's significantly easier than counting numbers on a screen with ones and twos.
Keeps track a little cleaner.
Got some people voting with their heart at home. So Philip here, his win condition is, of course, if you don't take out Fenn early, you're behind, right?
Sure.
So we're looking, Philip's going to be looking to make sure he can get all guns on target. The thing is that Enano knows that. He's a smart player.
Yep.
I've been able to watch a couple of his games after I've been finished. And, you know, he knows how to position Fenn in a way where he can use his ability and just, you know, wreak the havoc that he can. The PS11 boost is ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, you know, on a ship like a Lothal Rebel, being able to reposition late like that is just, it's amazing.
Yeah. And the ship is so big. It's so big.
It's so big in every dimension. It's big.
Yes, Philip Horny is wearing his standard cardigan. Absolutely. Button-up shirt.
Hair kind of slicked to the side.
Slicked to the side, absolutely. One thing we're going to be doing at Worlds this year, this hasn't been officially announced. You guys will get the first taste. We're actually going to be doing awards for X-Wing of the year, and Philip is definitely in the running for best dressed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even Chat was commenting on it yesterday that in Chat's opinion, Phil is the best dressed X-Wing player, probably the best dressed that I've seen around this tournament.
Yep. All right.
Phil is a bit ahead in the straw poll right now, leading 8 votes to 4. No surprise there that people are behind Team Phil. And we see him, he's really staying towards that far edge of the board, far from our perspective, and really just trying to get the best positioning here. We see Countdown, who's kind of going off kind of in a flank almost. And then Kylo and Quick Draw staying together but keeping their distance.
Right. One thing I'm looking to see if Philip does here, he needs to, if he can leverage Quick Draw's ability. Now, I know that part of that is in Enano's court, right? If he doesn't shoot Quick Draw, Quick Draw doesn't get to shoot twice. But I think that ability is the thing that will really push this game over the edge for Philip. If he can get multiple shots in a turn, including a Quick Draw retaliation attack, the Lothal Rebel can go down really fast.
Yeah, I think that's right. And the Lothal Rebel is shooting twice, so, you know, to counter it, you might as well get some double action of your own.
So nice range control there by Philip Horny. The countdown is just out.
And so I'm interested to see if Countdown turns in this turn or continues on this flanking trajectory.
Yeah, he's kind of in a weird spot. I think he does have the one bank in both directions, though. He has just enough room to be able to manage that.
And that can be a adaptive ailerons one bank as well.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to, yeah. So you can adaptive ailerons and then do something like a K-turn in order to get a little bit more distance and try to draw the Lothal in. He also can try to be just cagey with it and, you know, turn it away if he needs.
That's true. This striker could be out there for bait, actually, seeing if Enano is going to commit to it, or it could just be to come around and make a little bit of a kill box and maybe a little bit of a flanking formation.
Yep. And I know when I've discussed with some players, you know, I would say that conventional wisdom tells you kill Fenn first. But if you can get in situations where Fenn is outside of the range to use his ability and you just have the ghost and you can just rip into it, if there's no ghosts around and it's just Zeb and Fenn at the end, that's your game.
I think you guys were talking about that on the last episode, actually. I forget who made that comment, but yeah, Marcel or Nate made that comment that if they're playing it safe with Fenn to the point where he's not in the game, then, you know, why waste your time on him?
Exactly. So it looks like Philip is thinking about what to do with Kylo. He does have the hyper maneuverable Kylo Ren that I fly as well. just looks like what he has to give up something. Or is it the full? Is it 47 points? No, it's 45.
45 on his Kylos.
Advanced. He does not have advanced optics. That's what it is. All right.
Looks like maneuvers are down, and that Lothal Rebel gets the first move.
All right.
Doing a big 3-bank.
He's coming in aggressive. And here's the thing with the PS11 boost. Even if he does clip that rock, it doesn't matter. But it looks like he's probably clear.
Looks like he is clear. So being a bit aggressive with this Lothal Rebel, why not? I mean, he throws a ton of dice out of his primary, gets the double tap with TLT. Yeah, this I don't mind this move.
So here's the ailerons to the right. He might be clipping that debris.
No, he's too good for that.
He's got it. He's got it.
He knew exactly what he was setting up for. And here we see the flank.
Beautiful.
Range 1, so no TLT shots.
Yep.
Out of primary arc. This is textbook flying.
All right, and the big thing here is that even if Fenn turns in, Countdown doesn't have mods anyway, so using Fenn's ability against Countdown doesn't matter.
Doesn't do anything.
It's going to be 4 natural dice, but the Ghost doesn't have any agility, but we can't discount the evade and the center jammer. So Philip needs to throw at least 3 hits in order to do damage, but he might just go into Fenn, which
we'll see where Fenn ends up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great point. With Sensor Jammer is relevant here with the boost rather than taking a focus action.
Yep. So he's debating on his action. He has the barrel roll template. He's checking to the right. He's probably going to see what blocking options he can set up for next turn. If he would have been able to barrel roll to the right, he could have possibly just kind of gunk up the way. And he's barrel rolling out.
Okay.
He's still in range 1. He's out of arc.
Yeah, so probably, as you said, setting up shots for Fenn.
Yep. So he's setting up a flank on Fenn right now because next turn he can ailerons, turn in, and the Ghost will most likely be out of range.
All right, next to activate is Kylo, I believe.
Yep, because quick draw is at 10.
And Phil is debating an advanced sensors action here. He's looking at the spacing, leaning over the table, getting a closer look, trying to see where he wants to put Kylo. So many options with that advanced sensors push the limit combo.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure he does not want to end up range 1 in the primary arc of that Ghost.
No, you do not. I mean, 4 dice hits really hard. With the Maul Ezra combo, you're still doing, 3-4 damage.
Just saw Richard Sue walk by. Did not come out on top in his game.
Was beaten by our Gold Squadron mate, Francois. Oh, yeah, Francois, right?
No, it was actually Nathan.
Oh, it was Nathan? Oh,
you're right. That's right. Yeah, Francois came out on top against Jory Hasselman.
Now, one thing I forgot to give you guys was the link to the challenge so that we can update the bracket.
People were actually posting that in the chat. But if we can get in and update that, I think people would
appreciate it. I'm pulling it up right now.
Phil still leaning over the table on both knuckles right now, looking at the spacing. I've been saying, with these star maps, sometimes you try to visualize your maneuver template in the stars themselves.
Yep.
And so Phil's leaning down close to the table now, really getting on the level of those ships and trying to figure out what does he want to do with this advanced sensors action. He's been looking at it for a couple minutes now.
You got so many options. He's probably seeing if he could find a spot that is, in the side arcs at range 1, depending on what his move is, or if he's dialed in one of those where he's like, all right, I can't be at range 3. Sure. What's gonna be my best position for next turn?
Sure.
Which usually, I know when I play Kylo, if I'm looking for that long, it's like, all right, I can't avoid getting shots, and I can't get auto thrusters. What's going to be my best trajectory for next turn?
Was he maybe not expecting the Ghost to get this close, this fast?
Probably not.
Yeah, those large bases can really move on the high-speed maneuvers. All right, we see Phil here is holding a template.
That's a boost, I think.
Still leaning, and both players actually leaning over the table. Kind of hunched over here looking at the field. And it looks like we just get
just going to get the maneuver.
Just get a maneuver happening.
He might just be boosting into range 1. I know it's ballsy, but...
just YOLO this Ghost.
Yeah.
All right, so we get the 2-turn maneuver. And now, of course, we have 2 actions coming via push the limit. Phil's still leaning over, looking at the spacing there. He's got a 1 template. And barrel roll comes first. Once that template is down, of course, you are committed to barrel rolling that direction, which he does.
And we are updating the bracket right now.
And then throws down a stress token. I can't tell what that other marker is behind Kylo.
That is a focus.
Focus. Makes sense. And looks like he was really just paving the way for quick draw. So we have a showdown here.
Yeah, you got to focus in order to do damage on the Ghost. I think Fenn probably is going to be out of range, which Phil wants.
Yeah. So, yeah, showdown at noon against the Ghost. Quick draw should have the first shot here. Fenn is still considering an action, I'm sure. Yeah, Fenn thinking over, or Enano thinking over the actions for Fenn, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he knows that he made a mistake here, I think. The fact that both of these ships here are going to be outside of range. He's going to be able to get the target lock here and make sure he deals some damage to
light
Kylo.
up Kylo. Okay, single shots all around though. No TLT shot available, I believe. So we're checking range for Fenn here. It's just a bit outside.
And he might have range to quick draw.
And it looks like he's got quick draw there.
All right.
Barely range 3.
So Hot Cop's going to take away that focus.
All right, so Fenn Rao with the first shot.
All right, we're waiting for shots here.
I hear something being discussed here. I'm not exactly sure. You see gesturing via the shadows on the table.
Right. He's debating using the ability. All right, range 2 on quick draw. From quick draw into the Ghost. So he can't spend the focus.
I see blanks.
Yep. Thank you, Philip.
All right, so nothing from quick draw, so really kind of neutered by the Fenn Rao ability. Well, he rolled blanks anyway.
Yep.
And then 3 hits here.
Mm-hmm.
Sensor Jammer changes 1.
Evade only takes a single shield there.
All right. I think the Ghost can handle that. And then we have countdown on Fenn. Three eyeballs. And no tokens there to modify. So things not going Phil's way with the dice so far. Although taking away modifications,
yep,
you know,
it hurts.
Really hurts.
Countdown's going to have to do some work. This looks like it's going to be, it was range 2 into Kylo. And we're going to be mauling 2. He's confident that he's going to be hitting here. And 1 crit from Ezra. And spends a focus to avoid the damage there. So this means that the Ghost will end stressed, because even if one of the TLTs hits, it end a round, only one of them can come off.
And we have 2 hits there.
And that was with the target lock.
Reroll from a target lock, really trying to push damage, and manages to get 1 on Kylo.
He will show him the dark side. Should show him the dark side.
Yep, there's the token.
Remembered. All right. I'm going to refresh our connection to the dice camera. See, we're getting a little bit of, has it been like that all weekend? Like the slowness?
Yeah, people were commenting in the chat. It didn't bother me that much.
Okay.
So we have the crit being pulled out.
And it is a mystery crit.
Well,
I'm guessing it's blinded. That's really the best one for the Ghost.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, I'm going to keep working on this bracket, Johnny.
Yeah, so a lot of excitement that round, but not as much damage as I think these players were hoping on their opponents. So now we're in sort of a really, a tight scrum here. Phil kind of setting countdown dial relatively quickly. So knows what he's planning with that ship. The other two, Kylo and Quick Draw, in a bit of a tight spot. The Ghost itself in a tight spot too, so both of these players have a lot of considerations to make.
Yep, I think in a perfect world, the Ghost, if it was unstressed, assuming it hit with that first attack, probably does a K-turn and gets on the backside of both of these aces.
Yeah, sure.
But now he has to find a spot to put the Ghost that not only is offensive, but can cover Fenn Rao.
Yeah, sure.
And that's one thing you see in these higher level the higher levels of the game is is players using their other ships to protect each other.
Sure.
Like it's like, hey, if you want to go after this, I'm going to punish you. And sometimes you say, I'm gonna have to risk the punishment in order to get what I want done. And then that's how in these higher levels how people plan engagements. You're trying to protect your ships with each other, and it's risk assessment, right? Saying, all right, how much is it worth being able to get a shot in here?
Yeah, well, you guys were talking about last time about choosing targets, and the key to winning X-Wing games is to pick a target and stick with it. Of course, a lot of these rebel lists are able to spread damage around through things like selflessness, but forcing your opponent to spread damage around just through your flying and through controlling which targets are available is definitely a consideration that higher level players have to make. And so if Enano can force Phil to spread damage around kind of against Phil's, choice, against his will, then I think Enano will have a lot of success in this game.
Yep. We do have the bracket updated. Trying.
Just about, and we'll get a link to that in a second.
There it goes. So if you want to follow the bracket at home, you can go ahead and use that link in the chat. Somebody wants to be super awesome and take that link and post it all over the internet. that'd be a good help.
All right, looks like we have dial set. Ghost gets the first move there. Ghost is just doing a 2-bank right into the base of Quick Draw.
So this kind of move is, you're kind of going for a 50-50 here. You're like, all right, I'm trying to either block you, or if you go too fast, you're flying past me, and I can shoot you with the rear arc. Yeah, I think is what Enano is trying to go for here. Yeah,
I think that makes sense. You see the maneuver templates out there. These large bases sometimes hard to complete maneuvers with. You need multiple templates. It looks like they figured it out there. I'm very interested to see where Kylo goes, because he could barrel roll out and then turn in to be in kind of a great spot. So we'll see what Phil has dialed in. Here we have.
Here's countdown.
Countdown.
He's coming to hunt Fenn. That's his job right now. If he can keep Fenn distracted with countdown and keep Kylo and Quick Draw alive long enough, it's a turn clock, really. I would say that you have about 3 to 4 turns once you've engaged to kill Fenn. If it goes to 5 or 6, you've probably lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, ideally 2 turns, right? If you can manage. And okay, we have Kylo here turning out, turning towards our right side of the board.
Got to do some work and try to get into auto thrusters range. I mean,
I don't think.
I mean, he'll probably go. You can boost and barrel roll behind the debris. At least you got 4 dice in auto thrusters.
Then you're really far away from everything.
Yeah, but it's better than getting dead.
That's fine. Nope, people haven't. It's fine.
I don't know if you see the chat here, Johnny. Someone's saying, got to get that Micro Machines Ghost model. Have you seen people using those?
Absolutely.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this beautiful Saturday morning on the planet of Hoth. I know that FFG isn't using that vernacular anymore, but we are. Oh, man, does the 3 straight fit?
I think he's got it. And so we see Kylo here doing exactly the reposition that you prescribed. So obviously you've flown a bit of Kylo, so you know.
Yeah, I'm more than 100 games deep on Kylo.
I'm just surprised, as someone who does not fly a silencer, that he's sort of pointed the away from everything right now.
Yeah, I mean, with the double reposition though, you can get into the fight pretty easily.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, hard 2 boosts sets you up for an advanced sensors boost in like a 5 straight, and you're back in.
You get a judge call from the side event.
Yep.
Yeah, so you missed it last round. Somebody came up to me and they were just like, "Hey, so what's going on in this room?"
Right.
I was like, "Well, it's X-Wing." "Oh, what's that?" It's a Star Wars game.
Yep.
"Oh, okay." And then kind of walked around, came back. "Oh, so how long is this going to be going on?" And I was just like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, long time.
We love to interact with people. Well, we do have a job to do. Bring X-Wing to the masses.
So he is going to have a range 1 in the front and the back here, twice if Enano lets him.
That's right.
And I mean, he has Fenn in a pincer move. He can't do anything about countdown shot. Philip wants to roll some paint on that shot.
Yeah, he can't have the same results that he had last round.
And Fenn is shooting Kylo.
Okay.
I do not agree with that target selection unless he didn't have quick draw at all.
Hard to tell from this angle.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't want the quick. He really doesn't want the quick draw attack back.
Maybe.
You know, maybe he figures Fenn is not surviving this round if he's taking three attacks.
Right, correct. This is very true. So he's going to get a range 1 out the front. I think Philip might just do the front, not even worry about the back. We'll see. I see 3 dice in his hand, so looks like we are going front back.
Oh my goodness. Second round in a row that
He's spending the target lock, though. He's got a lock. He's got a lock. Looking for some paint. There we go. There we go.
Sensor jammer.
So he lost. He did get 1, right, on the ghost?
I believe that's right. Yeah, so if Fenn... yeah, interesting decisions here with Fenn.
One thing that the chat is saying that we actually didn't pick up, Enano forgot to use R3A2 when he shot Kylo.
That's right.
He would have double
stressed. Oh goodness. Yeah, and Kylo Ren does not want double stress. All right, here we have the next shot. This must be countdown.
Yep. Oh, Fenn. There we go. There we go. 2 hits. 3 hits and a crit. And 2 blanks. Shield and 3 cards. We got to see what that crit is. That's going to determine whether or not he's dead. 1, 2. Stun pilot. We'll go ahead and pull up that card here on the screen. So after you execute a maneuver, if you are touching another ship or overlapping an obstacle token, suffer 1 damage.
Okay, so that would kill him.
Yep. No bumpies or else.
And Fenn's moving last out of everyone, isn't he?
Yep, so Philip can set up a block pretty easily. Here's TLTs into Kylo. He is going to Maul 2.
Maul 2.
And only 1. Auto thrusters, he's fine.
Okay.
If he can get out of this without taking any damage, that would be extremely helpful.
And with the Ezra mod, and that one.
That one's going to hit
through.
So Kylo is shields down and a hole as well. Auto thrusters, no damage. This is end around here. Ooh, 3 crits.
3 crits.
We're looking for 2 and a blank. 2 and a blank. There it is. Auto thrusters, baby.
Yeah, so the ability for Kylo to stay alive it's impressive.
Yeah. And I know like 3 hull doesn't seem like a lot, but when you got auto thrusters and focus, that 3 hull can stick around for a long time, especially if we can get Fenn down here pretty soon. Well, I mean, the averages, I actually have some math on that here. With 2 dice, your expected evades, on 4 dice, your expected evades with no mods is 1.5. So that half just went towards the yes side, plus a blank, auto thruster. So it's not against the, not really against the math. It's a 50-50 chance, basically, of whether or not he was going to be able to dodge that. So we'll be updating the bracket as we get those names and winners. And just as a reminder, I'll show you the dark side only triggers on Kylo Ren Pilot when you hit him. So as Fenn didn't hit him, he is fine.
So we have Fenn in a little bit of trouble. And the Ghost's still pretty high health. Fenn, Fenn. Let's see what he can, what he has left.
Countdown's gonna come in for a block. You ailerons into Fenn, and then you jump in front of him.
Right, sure.
There aren't very many safe places for Fenn to go. Kylo will most likely too hard to the right to regroup with quick draw. And if they're able to get Fenn this turn, which is turn 4 of engagement, he's going to have a shot here.
And so does the Ghost maybe just slow play it and just plink away with TLT maybe a little bit?
Yeah, he doesn't want to go away too far. I mean, if Enano is convinced that he's going to lose Fenn, this maneuver that he's going to make with the Ghost is to set him up for killing all 3 other ships.
Sure. Sure.
So it depends on if he is convinced that, you know, what does he want? What does he want out of life right now?
Right.
And win condition for Enano is if he can clear, he's going to have to start clearing some ship off the board. Countdown is a threat, even though he can use his ability. If he can catch them at range 2, 4 TLTs could kill him. But the advantage here that Countdown has is that he can get into that back arc at range 1 and say, I take 1 damage. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And just start plinking away.
All right, Phil thinking, both players kind of thinking things over, leaning over the table. You see this posture a lot, right? Leaning over and then taking a closer look.
Yeah, you wanna try to visualize where the banks. I think the banks are the hardest ones to see.
Sure. I never quite know how far forward they're gonna go with the bank.
Curious to know where Quick Draw is going to go. Quick Draw might just 1 forward into Fenn and say you can't. The 1 bank would clear though, but he would still get a shot.
Yeah, it is a complicated board state at the moment.
Yep.
Both players taking time, but it looks like things are set. The Ghost moving to bank sheds a stress. Must be the last stress.
To clarify, I'll show you the dark side. The way it works is when the condition is assigned to a ship, so currently it has the Ghost. If the Ghost is hit by an uncanceled crit, instead of the shield coming off or the crit off of the damage deck coming up, it is the I'll show you the dark side crit token or crit card that's pulled out and placed on the ship. With Kylo's ability, you're only assigned it if you're the first person to hit him in a round. With the Kylo Ren crew, you action and then assign the condition card. So there's 2 different ways that a condition card can be dealt in the game.
And so we see Countdown executing the maneuver that Dion predicted, adaptive ailerons to get into Fenn, and then executing a maneuver. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and mark both ships, both Fenn and Quick Draw, and then, yeah, possibly going in to set up a block there with the 2-turn from Countdown.
Yep.
So again, just all of those options available 2 countdown gives him so much flexibility.
And he still has an action. So if he believes that he's got it covered, he'll stay right there. He can think about the barrel roll. And here's one interesting thing. We know we mark ships on the nubs, on the sides. There's lots of different ways to do it. Some information that Philip did get, I mean, mind you, I'm sure he can visualize it anyway, is when he marked quick draw on the back, you get a really good visualization of kind of where that barrel roll would have landed.
Sure.
Countdown here. So let's see, did he get him?
You do see the barrel roll there.
Here's the sloop from quick draw, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's right. And so either way, Fenn's in a bad spot. Either he bumps and is destroyed immediately,
or he's facing the wrong direction.
Or he's facing the wrong direction with arcs on him.
Yep. So Kylo clearing the stress. He probably doesn't even push this turn, just in case of R3A2, just focuses and waits. There he goes.
Yeah, Phil doing a great job of keeping Kylo alive and healthy.
And actually, he has quick draw PS8, not PS9, not PS10. So he's dead, and that's a stun pilot. And
that's it. Yep. Removing that ship from the board. And that's it for Fenn. Kind of an inglorious way to go down.
Yep. I mean, he had very limited choices. He could have done something like, too hard to the right, but that takes him out of the fight. And basically in a kill box, you can kind of see it right there.
Yeah,
all those ships need to do is turn in, and then Fenn is gone.
Measuring range for quick draw. Looked out from here. I do see Phil grabbing green dice, meaning it is the Ghost's attack.
Yep, he's going at quick draw, trying to get those shields off while quick draw doesn't have anybody in arc. And that's the... Oh, this is...
I think it's actually...
This is on countdown?
I think it's actually countdown, because I saw 4 dice get rolled. And countdown is hurting, so...
All right, so he takes a stress, only 1 damage. He didn't want to take a crit. If it wasn't a crit in there, he would have just taken the damage. Only 1 from the TLTs. Lightweight frame, he's got it.
Second roll, just 1. Oh, boy. Oh.
All right.
It does go through. Okay, so that's all you need.
So I'm thinking here, right now, Philip is in the driver's seat. He does not need to, excuse me, he does not need to go in a super hyper aggressive, he doesn't have to make mistakes here, basically. He's in the driver's seat. He's up 27 points. Let the Ghost come to him.
Sure.
There is no more PS11 boost, and get your engagements. Now, Enano, with the VCX, by itself, leveraging even the boost at PS3 can be huge. Blocking a ship, getting one to blow past you, and having 1 in TLT range, being able to repeat that and cycle out, disengage and come back, is a way just to decimate these small ships.
Yeah, sure.
Because with the large base, things like 4 forward boosts, you can get out, bring it back around. I mean, it's great. We do have a result here. Andrew Smith versus Duncan Howard, and Andrew Smith is the winner of that. So we're going to go ahead and progress him in the bracket.
And so chat was asking, on the last attack, why did the Ghost use the primary weapon against Countdown rather than TLT, both the first and second attack?
I think it was to threaten the crit.
Oh, sure, because he would have had an Ezra modification on that to have a higher chance of getting that crit.
Right.
So that makes sense.
And then the other result that we did get in is Francois Moret, our Gold Squadron squad mate, was able to beat Scott Coots. Oop, I clicked that incorrectly.
Oh, it's right there? Okay.
Countdown's turning away, evade. Man, I think Philip's doing the right thing here. He's going to regroup, bring it all back in.
Yeah, so we're under half an hour left in the match. Phil is up on points. And so, yeah, it is, he has all the time he needs to regroup.
There's only one way to truly find out. Take it over there. Yep. All right. Well, I'm saying take this remind me
All right.
So we actually saw this yesterday. Phil is up on points, but he does not intentionally slow play things. He good sport in Phil.
Mm-hmm.
He will play at the same pace no matter what.
Yeah.
The game state is.
Yep. And in our pace of play research, we're right on track where we're supposed to be. I did a little extra work with Patrick, and just talking about when it comes to slow play, evaluating it really comes down to, there's situational slowness, and then where it makes sense for things to slow down. But being able to keep a constant pace, if for whatever reason you just stop, and you go, wait, this is really outside the pattern, there has to be a really good reason on the board for you to have stopped.
I agree.
And if there's not, that's when the red flag comes up.
And so that said, Phil is still considering his maneuvers.
Yep.
It looks like he's got it down now. Gives a thumbs up.
Yep.
And here we have the ghost coming around. And then we get the boost. Get the ghost into action a little faster.
Texas Wargamer, no, because you're ignoring the first part of it, which says that the average game is 11 turns, and 8 turns would be considered below average. Thus, you would be slow playing with that definition of slow play.
All right, countdown. Kind of covering a lot of ground there with all of his various maneuver capabilities. And then Kylo, barrel roll, starting out with the barrel roll.
Salt shaker.
First time since Kevin World.
So we do have an update from the Duncan Howard. He can't play on stream, not because he can ignore it, but because he's unfortunately unlimited, and he was tabled by Andrew Schmidt. It's fine. I was also tabled by Andrew Schmidt.
Yeah, he told me you were the other podcaster table. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess you could. I was like, hey man, you want to take a photo? I'm technically a live.
Right. But only in cars.
Huh?
But only in cars.
Only in cars and in the intro.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to Duncan for stopping by the booth. And Philip doing what he needs to do here. He's keeping all his ships together. He's going to get all those guns on target, and he needs to make sure that when he does engage with the ghost that he has a focus token. Now, Philip is going to need to make sure that he can range control some of these guys and be able to take one of these ships off the board. Countdown only has 2 hull left. That's tempting to just try to get it off the table. Andrew Schmidt is flying a variation of what our friends the Minox have dubbed the Rebel Salad. You have Ezra We have Lorik plus a Sheathipede and an ace. So you got, it's Miranda Sheathipede, Miranda Ezra.
I did not notice if Enano has his maneuver down yet. It looks like he's still holding the dial. Yeah, it's kind of hard if he wants to set up for the joust or keep kind of along the edge and get with TLT.
Kylo's trying to figure out what he can do to get in that side arc. Me looking at it, I think you gotta play cagey for one more turn, because you can real easily get caught at range 2 or 3 here with those TLTs.
Yeah, no reason for Phil to take risks here.
Yep.
And checking the dial one more time. Thinking over countdown again. All right. We do get a lot of second guessing at the top tables, don't we? It looks like things are getting close.
All right, so Enano is electing to come in aggressive. Wouldn't be surprised to see a boost here. But he's throwing down the evade. He's going to let that sensor jammer do some work. Man, I know that I was thinking for Kylo a 3 bank would be pretty nice if he did come in fast. Barrel roll boost 3 bank right into that side arc.
So one last shout out here for the World's Bus. Pick up points again in Michigan, Indiana, and Chicago. Check out the link in the chat to the Facebook event if you are interested in that bus to Worlds. And it's a pretty good value there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to Tim Ralphs / Timbo Slice for setting that up. So it looks like he's keeping Countdown out of the fight, waiting for an opportunity to bring him in.
Yeah, Countdown's the one who's hurting the most here, right? So maybe just trying to protect him a little bit. How many points on Countdown? 22.
22. So even if he dies, he wants to use him as an offensive weapon. So he needs to get one good shot and probably dies that turn, and it's okay because Philip would be up on points. Now, if Enano can figure out a way to kill Countdown and not take shots from the other ships at the same time, that would be to Enano's advantage.
All right, so we get a barrel roll and then coming in with a 3 bank.
It's going to be range 2.
Range 2, and as we know, sensor jammer is active.
Yep. And here's the thing: the quick draw is a double-edged sword. If you leave him to the, if you ignore him early, you can avoid taking a bunch of damage. But if you leave him to the end game and he's more expensive than what you have, you're not winning that game.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Very tricky. I can never decide when to engage quick draw. It's one of the hardest things to do in this game.
It's confirm range 2. Here's Kylo into the. We got sensor jammer.
Sensor jammer, and then.
And he does have the title active, so he does get to reroll 1 into blanks. He's not going to spend the focus. The evade token comes off.
Okay.
Kylo needs to dodge 2 TLTs in order to live.
And looks like
he's going to maul 2.
He's going to maul 2. There we go. Okay, so that's the stress now for Ezra. Ends up with 2 damage.
Auto thrusters should get him out of this. Oh, he's having to
Spends
spend both.
The focus and the auto thrusters. Okay, so second attack.
Just the Ezra.
Just gets the Ezra. So just 1 here. So
auto thrusters.
Auto thrusters. The only outcome that would have gotten damage through would be 3 eyeballs.
So he's going to live, but he's going to be hurting.
So here comes the end of round. That's another 1.
Kylo's sitting at 2.
And final attack. 3. And
that focus.
Yep.
That focus. All right, so Kylo's sitting at 1 hull, so he's going to get one strategy that you can implore while doing with advanced sensors is until you get the engagement you want, you use advanced sensors to angle yourself the direction you want to go, and then you forward into them.
Sure,
you just constantly just run into them until you're in a spot where you're like, okay,
yeah.
I can disengage and make sure I don't get shot.
So basically taking shots away while you can, and then setting up for your ideal pass.
Yep. Quick draw is going to be coming in here. 2, 3 straight, maybe just a 2 straight, because we don't want to get arc dodged by the ghost, which is possible.
Countdown in a pretty good spot here, I would say. Turn in and come back around. And it looks like the Imperial dials are down. We'll see if Phil picks one of those up and reconsiders.
It looks like from his posture, he's looking at the Lothal's flight paths here. We do have 1 stress still on the ghost. He wants that evade action if he can get it, but I don't know if there is a green maneuver available to him that will allow him to take an action. I think that 1 bank will end up on the rock.
Yeah.
The forward's just going to hit the debris token.
See, I think the 1 bank might fit, actually, but I don't know. It's hard to tell from back here. Chat being very active on the topic of slow play. Different people have different thoughts on what constitutes slow play and what doesn't. Luckily in this game, I don't believe we are witnessing any slow play, but at these timed tournaments, it is a common consideration.
All right, and chat room, I would suggest, let's talk about this game. I think slow play is it's a heated topic. We've done some research on it. We can talk about it another time. We'll do a town hall, and anybody can talk about all this stuff. Let's focus here. We've got a good game going on. Philip and Enano.
All right, so all the dials are down. Phil maybe just doing a last double check. Checking distances. We are under 15 minutes to go. The ghost is still looking healthy. 10 hull along with 4 shield.
One thing with Kylo's positioning, which was pointed out in the chat here, it's probably a good idea to just outie. Oh, the 1 forward's going to fit. All right.
Forward gets in.
And what this does, if Philip tried to peace out with Kylo, this would probably keep him in range of the TLTs. That range 3 ruler is really long.
Yeah, it constantly surprises me. So I actually can't tell if that overlapped or not. I don't know what token got laid
Yeah,
down there.
that's a stress token.
So it did. So it was a green maneuver, but it still overlaps. So no actions for the ghost. I mean, unless it was an evade token he put down. But if you think
it's super close.
So I see the. I'll just run over there and check because it is. This is an important turn of events.
Waiting to see where Kylo and Quick Draw go here. Oh, we haven't moved. There's target lock focus. Looks like he's feeling pretty confident about his maneuver. That's going to be range 1 into the back of the ghost. He's got range 1 to the back of the ghost. And he's probably an arc. It's really hard to tell.
So that is an evade token.
Oh, so it did clear.
It did clear. It looks like it just barely cleared. Both players must have agreed. So the ghost has an evade. At least for this turn.
Yep. So we see Quick Draw did a nice conservative 3 forward. And the Lothal's in the kill box. So let's see. Here's the first shot. And debating to suspend the focus.
Okay, so we get Sensor Jammer.
Yep. I believe this is Kylo.
Quick Draw's higher. No, you're right. It probably is Kylo.
No, that was Quick Draw.
Okay.
He moved them out of order. I think is what happened. So he spends the evade and takes 2. Acquires target lock. So 2 shields down.
Now we have
countdown, range
countdown.
2. Hit, crit. That's going to be a blinded pilot from I'll Show You the Dark Side.
Yep, there it is.
Why would you put check? Swag. So that's hit, crit. There. I'm pretty sure it's blinded.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Oh, we have an Enano rolling dice.
Well, I mean, the end of the round could still happen.
Oh,
so we'll know.
Starting right. Okay.
We'll know what crit it is by if he attacks 4 times or twice. So he's mauling for 2. Let's see if. No, so he's going to be taking 1. Bringing Quick Draw down to. I mean, Quick Draw countdown down to 1. And looking for natties here. Nope. So countdown's going to be off the table. And they are back to down. So it was a blinded pilot, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we're under 10 minutes to go.
And Kylo did bump last turn. That's why
bumped,
he didn't shoot.
Yeah, so under 10 minutes to go. What is each player's game plan here?
I mean, if you have Kylo Ren at 1 hull, kill Kylo, and you have to try to put yourself in spots with the Lothal Rebel where Quick Draw is in the side arcs. I think leveraging the front arc is going to be the best way to try to rip all those shields off in 1 turn.
Sure.
And after that, let the TLTs do the work. But I think Kylo's best bet is to get out of town. To be completely honest.
And Chad agrees. Kylo has to hit the hills, run for the hills.
See, here is the issue, though. Like running with Kylo, while you do have a lot of tools to do so, you put yourself in kind of some weird angles sometimes. And if you put yourself in a bad angle where it's going to take you 2 turns to get in the better direction to run away, permanently, your opponent might be on your tail already.
Yeah, that's right. And like you said, range 3 is far. So, I mean, even with auto thrusters, the Ghost just needs to land 1. And
he has 4
opportunities
shots to do it.
to do it.
And the thing about arc dodging, It's easier to arc dodge when you're closer.
Sure.
Because the width of the arc is so much smaller. So staying close might be something that Philip is looking to do to just try to get into that side arc. We got 7 minutes left on the clock. We're in that fork in the road here to see whether or not it's going to win.
Okay, so how much damage needs to go on the ghost to get half points?
To get half points, we need
one more.
One more, yeah.
Okay. So that will give a little bit of a cushion for Phil.
Yeah, this is a big turn. This is a huge turn.
All right, looks like dials are down.
All right, let's see what he did here. Looks like a straight maneuver.
I want to say 3 straight.
4.
4 straight, okay. So just, I think it's just creating distance to get TLTs off.
Yep, and what this probably avoids is Kylo just bumping into you to avoid getting shot. It's a little bit too far. It does give Kylo the opportunity to run away, which he does, okay? So we're getting that 3 hard. Boost, barrel roll. Kylo is done. Saying, I'm the supreme leader. I'm taking a nap. Quick draw, I'll take care of this.
A nap with his shirt off, of course.
Oh, of course. Of course. You must. Okay, so he is boosting into this corner. It does set him up for 4K and then be able to react to whichever direction Enano does turn the ghost. Now, quick draw will definitely be getting TLT'd, but this also means that quick draw will be getting shots off on the ghost. He has a target lock on there. I don't know. I think the focus might have been a better choice than barrel roll. I don't like to doubt Philip Horny's choices.
Well, is he getting out of the rear arc of that ghost, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, and he was checking for range 1. Maybe he was trying to get into range 1.
2 dice, hit crit. That can't be rerolled, so it's just a crit. Let's see what the crit is.
Yeah, players tend to put cards in that exact spot.
Right. That's one of the action ones. We can find out in a minute what that crit card is. And it looks like Enano chooses not to shoot in order to save the damage.
Structural damage, which reads reduce your agility by 1.
And means nothing.
Means nothing.
All right, should I even put it in the overlay? Does it matter?
I think it's just damage at this point.
Right. And he is at half, so we're going to go ahead and click that on. All right, disengage. Phillips at 54 points. the Ghost has to kill. I mean, his job is to hunt down Kylo.
Got him. Got Nick.
There we go. Gold Squadron member.
Avenged me. He avenged me. My boy.
William Hagewood coming out on top over Nick Tobin.
Enano wants to get at least 2 more turns in here. All right, dials are down.
And once again, Phil just being a good sport here, playing fast even though he knows he's ahead.
Yep.
So we have the Ghost here.
So yeah, the plan here for Philip is going to be Kylo's going to run, but Quick Draw needs to come in and cover. So if there is a point where the engage does happen, Quick Draw is there to punish the Ghost.
And probably see a boost here, or
I'm surprised he didn't. He's
He
still stressed.
has a stress.
He's still stressed.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the fact that he is stressed is what's gonna get him. Enano needs to start thinking about what that maneuver is now, have it down. One part of the mental aspect of this game is there you go. He's picked up the dial already. When you have your dial down, it does put a certain amount of pressure on your opponent.
I agree.
To increase the clock. So the sooner that Enano can get that down, the better for him. There it is.
All right, dial set. That was a record speed.
Yep.
Less than 30 seconds to get dial set.
2 bank clears the stress. We'll see the 1 bank boost, most likely. And I know our clock is pretty close, so we'll see what they call here.
And then Kylo throwing down a big 5. And the boost. Friend of the show stopping by the table, letting us know their results. And Quick Draw, nice and easy, staying out of trouble.
Yep. I think they just called time while he was doing action, so that's the end of the game, or should be.
And so if this result holds, we have Phil Horney coming out on top.
Yep, because there's no dials in planning. We're still in actions.
Yeah,
so
we see the handshake there. GG.
Yeah, good game, guys. It was honestly really, really well played. Score of 54-22 here at the end. I want to remind everybody that there are 3 ways to support our content. You can go to goldsquadronpodcast.com to pick up some GSP swag. You can use the code BUY2GET1, or patrons get our 50% off code that's posted on Patreon. You can also connect your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, become a Twitch Prime subscriber. It costs you nothing if you have Amazon Prime already, and we have a video on our YouTube page on how to do that. It's super easy. And lastly, you can also join the largest group of our supporters by going to patreon.com/goldsquadron. And thank you to our round sponsor, Kingwood Hobbies. And I want to remind you guys of our extra 5% coupon code, GSP Chicago. It is all one word. But most importantly, thank you to our patrons. You guys are the reason why we can even do all this. So we'll be starting the next round in approximately, let's see, probably 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, they've been moving these along pretty fast.
Yep. So we're going to be getting the overlay ready for the next round, find you guys another match, and we'll update the rest of the bracket. We'll post the bracket in the chat again, just in case you want that link. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back in a few minutes.